Your phone can tell you the time. Your laptop can tell you the time. Your car can tell you the time. Even the microwave can tell you the time. So, here's a strange question. Why do we still spend hundreds, thousands, and sometimes tens of thousands of dollars on a watch? A phone can give you the exact time in less than a second. It can set alarms, track your sleep, show your calendar, give you directions, and connect you to almost anyone on Earth. And yet, someone will walk into a luxury watch store and willingly spend the price of a small car on something whose most basic job is simply to tell the time. At first, it sounds irrational, but maybe expensive watches were never really about telling time. Maybe they're about something much deeper. Status, identity, craftsmanship, memory, tradition, and, perhaps most importantly, the story we want to tell about ourselves. Today, we're going inside the psychology of luxury watches and discovering why, even in the age of smartphones, mechanical watches refuse to disappear. The problem with the phone. Imagine going back 100 years. If you wanted to know the time, you needed a watch or a clock. A watch wasn't just convenient. It was essential. It helped workers arrive on time. It helped travelers catch trains. It helped soldiers coordinate operations. And for generations, owning a good watch meant owning an important piece of technology. But then came the smartphone. Suddenly, the watch had a problem. The smartphone didn't just compete with the watch. It completely destroyed the watch's practical advantage. Your phone is more accurate. It automatically adjusts the time. It knows your time zone. It can display multiple time zones simultaneously. And it can do hundreds of things your mechanical watch could never dream of doing. So, if we're judging watches purely as timekeeping machines, luxury watches make very little sense. And that's exactly where the mystery begins. Because when a product loses its practical advantage, something interesting happens. People stop buying it for what it does and start buying it for what it means. We don't just buy products. Think about the things you own. Your clothes aren't just pieces of fabric. Your shoes aren't just things protecting your feet. Your car isn't simply a machine designed to move you from one location to another. And your watch? It can become something much more personal. A watch sits directly on your wrist. People see it, you see it, and unlike a phone, you don't need to pull it out of your pocket to show it. It's quietly visible. That makes a watch surprisingly powerful as a form of self-expression. A simple watch might say, "I value simplicity." A rugged watch might say, "I love adventure." A vintage watch might say, "I appreciate history." And an expensive luxury watch might communicate something very different. "I made it." This is one of the most fascinating things about luxury goods. We don't always buy them because they're objectively better. Sometimes we buy them because they communicate something about who we are or who we want to become. The emotional value of a watch. But there's another reason people become attached to watches. Memory. Imagine a father giving his son a watch on his 18th birthday. Maybe the watch isn't the most expensive thing in the world, but every time the son looks at his wrist years later, he remembers that moment. The watch becomes connected to the person who gave it to him. Or imagine someone buying their first luxury watch after years of working toward a goal. The watch isn't just metal and glass anymore. It's a physical reminder of the journey, the late nights, the failures, the promotions, the risks, the sacrifices, the moment they finally said, "I did it." And this is something your smartphone can't easily replace. Your phone may be more useful, but a mechanical watch can become a symbol. It can carry a story. And sometimes, the emotional value of an object has nothing to do with its practical function. Why mechanical watches are so fascinating. Here's where things get even more interesting. Inside a mechanical watch are tiny components working together without a battery. Gears, springs, jewels, escapements, hands. Hundreds of miniature parts can work together to keep time. And someone has designed, assembled, adjusted, tested, and finished those components. Think about what that means. We live in a world where technology is becoming increasingly invisible. You don't know how your phone processes a photo. You don't see the chips inside your laptop. You don't understand exactly how your wireless connection works. You simply tap a screen, and it happens. A mechanical watch is different. Its movement is physical. You can sometimes see it through a transparent case back. You can hear it ticking. You can feel the movement of the mechanism. It's technology you can actually understand with your senses. And that's part of its appeal. A mechanical watch is almost like carrying a tiny machine on your wrist, not because you need it, but because you appreciate the fact that someone made it. The luxury watch psychology. Now we reach the uncomfortable question. Why are some watches so expensive? At a certain point, you're no longer paying simply for materials. A watch doesn't need thousands of dollars of metal to function. You're paying for craftsmanship, brand heritage,
Design,
limited production,
marketing,
research and development, finishing, reputation, and, importantly, exclusivity. Luxury works partly because not everyone can have it. If everybody suddenly owned the same expensive watch, some of its status would disappear. This is why scarcity is so powerful. When something is difficult to obtain, people often perceive it as more desirable. And luxury watchmakers understand this incredibly well. They don't simply sell watches. They sell an experience, a history, a reputation, a feeling. The message is not, here's something that tells you it's 342. The message is, here's something that represents a certain level of achievement, taste, craftsmanship, and exclusivity. The watch as a status symbol. Let's be honest, status matters. It has mattered throughout human history. People have always used objects to communicate wealth, power, belonging, and achievement. Kings wore crowns. Generals wore uniforms covered in medals. Artists developed recognizable styles. And today, watches can play a similar role. A luxury watch can communicate success without saying a single word. That's part of what makes it so interesting. You don't have to announce, I have money. The watch can quietly do the talking. Of course, not everyone buys luxury watches for status. Many enthusiasts genuinely love the engineering and craftsmanship. But status and identity are often intertwined. We choose objects that fit the person we believe we are. Or perhaps more accurately, the person we want other people to believe we are. And that leads to an even deeper question. Are we buying the watch? Or are we buying the feeling we expect the watch to give us? Why your phone can't replace it? Here's the paradox. Your phone is technically superior, but that's exactly why it can't completely replace a traditional watch. Your phone is designed to disappear into your life. It's a tool. You use it, then put it away. But a watch is designed to stay with you. It's physically attached to your body. It becomes part of your appearance. And there's something strangely satisfying about that. You don't need to unlock anything. You don't need to open an app. You simply glance at your wrist. And then there's the social difference. When someone asks for the time, pulling out your phone can sometimes lead to distractions. You check the time, then see a notification, then open a message, then check social media, and suddenly 5 minutes are gone. A traditional watch doesn't do that. It gives you exactly one piece of information, the time. And perhaps, in our hyper-connected world, that simplicity is becoming valuable again. The watch that outlives you. But perhaps the strongest argument for a mechanical watch isn't about today. It's about tomorrow. A smartphone becomes obsolete. A new model arrives. The battery gets weaker. The software stops receiving updates. Eventually, it becomes electronic waste. A well-maintained mechanical watch can be repaired, serviced, and passed down. That's why some watches become family heirlooms. Imagine a watch your grandfather wore decades ago. You put it on your wrist. Suddenly, you're carrying something that existed before you. It survived another generation. And one day, you might give it to someone else. That's a very different relationship with technology. Your phone is usually replaced. A mechanical watch can be inherited. And that changes the question from, how useful is this? To, how meaningful could this become? So, are expensive watches worth it? The honest answer? It depends. If you're buying a luxury watch because you believe it will make you happier, richer, more successful, or more important, you may be chasing a feeling that doesn't last. But if you understand what you're buying, craftsmanship, design, history, engineering, collectability, or simply the pleasure of owning something beautifully made, then the purchase becomes much easier to understand. The important thing is knowing the difference between value and price. A $10,000 watch isn't necessarily 10 times better at telling time than a $1,000 watch. And it certainly isn't thousands of times better than your phone. But luxury isn't really measured that way. You're not buying $10,000 worth of timekeeping. You're buying an object with a particular combination of craftsmanship, scarcity, identity, emotion, and history. Whether that's worth the price is ultimately up to you. So the next time you see someone wearing an expensive watch, don't immediately ask, why would anyone spend that much just to tell the time? Because they probably didn't. Maybe they're wearing a memory. Maybe they're wearing a reward for years of hard work. Maybe they're wearing a piece of engineering they genuinely love. Maybe they're carrying a family story on their wrist. Or maybe they simply love the way it looks. And that's the strange beauty of watches. For thousands of years, humans have tried to measure time. But eventually, we started using objects to remember it. Your phone tells you what time it is. A watch can remind you where you've been, what you've achieved, and who you want to become. And maybe that's why, even when technology makes watches unnecessary, we keep wearing them anyway. Because sometimes, the things we value most aren't the things we need. They're the things that mean something to us. And perhaps that's the real reason we keep buying expensive watches. Not because we need to know the time, but because we want to remember that our time matters.